Tonight's story is about a man who helped the police hunt a killer, comforted grieving families, stood in front of cameras as a symbol of hope, only to discover that the man he was hunting was himself. The town of Ridgewood was the kind of place people trusted without thinking. A quiet community where neighbors waved every morning, children rode bicycles past sunset, and doors were often left unlocked, not because people were careless, but because fear had never lived there. Police reports were boring, lost pets, minor disputes, nothing worth remembering, until one cold autumn morning changed everything. A jogger found the body of a young woman near a wooded trail on the edge of town. At first glance, police believed it was an accident, but when investigators looked closer, they realized something was very wrong. There were signs of planning, control, precision. This wasn't random. News spread fast. Shock turned into disbelief. Then disbelief turned into fear. Vigils were held. Candles burned late into the night. Parents walked their children to school. Neighbors began locking doors for the first time in years. The police assured everyone it was an isolated incident. They were wrong. 2 weeks later, another body was found. Different location, same method, same chilling calmness in the execution. That's when the word nobody wanted to say was finally whispered: serial killer. Fear gripped the town, and into that fear stepped a man named Daniel Harper. Daniel was ordinary in every way that made people feel safe. Mid-40s, soft-spoken, well-liked. He attended church, volunteered at community events, knew the police officers by name. When Daniel showed up at the station offering help, nobody questioned it. He said he just wanted to protect his town. No one noticed how calm he was. No one noticed how closely he watched the investigation. Because monsters don't look like monsters. They look like helpers. Daniel Harper became involved in the investigation almost immediately. He volunteered during search parties, handed out flyers, stayed late long after others went home. When families cried, Daniel was there. When reporters needed a voice of the community, Daniel spoke. He stood in front of cameras and said the words everyone wanted to hear. "We will not let fear win." The town embraced him. Police welcomed his assistance too. Daniel had a sharp memory. He noticed details others overlooked. He suggested possible locations to search, many of which were disturbingly accurate. Too accurate. But at the time, it felt like luck. Daniel attended every vigil, every memorial, every press update. He cried when names were read aloud, lowered his head when prayers were spoken, and slowly, without anyone realizing it, Daniel became part of the investigation's inner circle. He learned things that were not released to the public, crime scene details, patterns, and sometimes he slipped. Once he mentioned the position of a victim's hands, information never shared publicly. Another time, he referenced the weapon used before it was announced. Police dismissed it as stress. After all, Daniel was helping them. What no one asked was why he needed to help so badly. Behind closed doors, Daniel followed news updates obsessively. He replayed interviews. He watched himself on television, adjusting his expressions, perfecting his role. Because to Daniel, this wasn't chaos, it was control. Helping the police didn't ease his guilt. It fed his need to stay close to the fire he started. The mistake was small, almost invisible. A security camera near the third crime scene caught a blurry figure passing by at an unusual hour. At first, police ignored it. Then they enhanced the footage. The walk looked familiar, not suspicious, just recognizable. An officer mentioned it casually during a briefing. Daniel went quiet. Too quiet. That same night, Daniel sent an email to investigators suggesting the camera footage might be irrelevant, insisting the figure was probably a night worker. The problem? The footage had not been discussed outside the police department. That was the moment suspicion finally entered the room. Investigators began reviewing everything. Every tip Daniel gave. Every place he suggested searching. Every time he showed up just a little too fast. Patterns emerged. Daniel wasn't predicting the killer. He was remembering himself. A forensic re-examination revealed DNA inconsistencies previously overlooked due to pressure and panic. The profile didn't match known suspects, but it matched someone who had already provided a voluntary DNA sample early in the investigation. Someone helpful, someone trusted, someone named Daniel Harper. Daniel didn't resist arrest. He looked confused, offended. He asked why they were wasting time on him instead of finding the real killer. In the interrogation room, the mask finally slipped. At first denial, then frustration, then silence. When detectives laid out the evidence, the DNA, the camera footage, the slips of information, Daniel's shoulders dropped. Not in guilt, in relief. He confessed calmly, methodically. He described how he chose victims, how he inserted himself into the investigation to control the narrative, how helping police made him feel powerful. He said something that still chills investigators today. "I wanted to see how close I could stand to the truth without anyone seeing me." The town of Ridgewood never recovered. People stopped trusting smiles, stopped assuming kindness meant safety. Families realized the man who hugged them knew the truth the whole time. Daniel was sentenced to life without parole, but the damage went far beyond prison walls. This case became a lesson taught in criminal psychology courses around the world. A reminder that evil doesn't always hide in shadows. Sometimes it volunteers. Sometimes it comforts you. Sometimes it helps you search for itself.